Hello, my name is Kaitlyn Fitch, and today I will be answering the questions for discussion post 7. So the first question is, explain the difference between pronunciation and articulation, and why are these elements of a speaker's vocal delivery so important? So pronunciation is the correct formation of the sounds of a word, syllable, or phrase. So an example of mispronunciation would be saying library instead of library. Articulation is the clarity in which the words are pronounced. So, for example, a lot of people say "and" instead of clearly articulating the D in "and." So, when speaking, you should put a clear emphasis on important words or words that are easily misheard. So, to answer why articulation and pronunciation are so important when delivering a speech, this ensures that your audience is understanding your message. If you mumble or rush through your speech, your audience likely won't understand what you're saying. So having a clear articulation and pronunciation will also aid in keeping your audience engaged as well. So moving on to the second question, list 2 ways a speaker can avoid a monotonous speaking style. So one strategy a speaker can use to avoid speaking in a monotone voice is what we talked about in the previous question. So by pronouncing and articulating words clearly, this will aid in the clarity of your speech and will also help you stray away from sounding bored. Another strategy you can use as a speaker is varying the tempo of your speech. So if you speak slower during more important parts of your speech, this will help keep the audience engaged and will also cue them to focus in on the more important information. So the third question is, list and describe 2 tips for effective gesturing. So one important strategy when using gestures during a speech is creating a feeling of immediacy within your audience. You can do this by using gestures such as smiling or maintaining eye contact and also maintaining good posture. So this will allow your audience to feel more comfortable and react positively to whatever it is you may be speaking about. Another important strategy is using gestures that feel natural to you. So when using hand movements, you want to make sure that you have a purpose and they aren't distracting. So an example of an effective hand gesture would be putting your hands together when you want to stress the importance of something, like I'm doing now. An ineffective hand gesture tends to be distracting to the audience, and this could be either like playing with your hair or either messing with a pen, something that's distracting the audience from what you're trying to say. So however, any hand gesture that you're using should feel natural to you and be fitting to your speech topic, or it might make you look nervous or maybe unprofessional. So the last question, share 2 careers that use persuasion, and who do you believe is easier to persuade, younger or older people, and why? So 2 careers that use persuasion are real estate agents and car salesmen. These careers both rely on your ability to persuade the prospective buyer that you have the best item for them, whether that be a car or a house in this example. So to answer the second portion of this question, I believe that it's easier to persuade young people because I feel like they're more impressionable or easier to convince or persuade. So I feel like older people tend to be a little bit stuck in their ways and have already kind of developed that clear thoughts and opinions about what they believe. So that is all I have for this last discussion post, and thank you for listening.